Hi guys, and welcome back to the Angel Energy Only video podcast with me. I'm Tess. And today we are stepping into Leo season vibes, honeys. Also, let me know if there are any Leo babies among you guys, because I would love to know. In today's video, we are talking about boundaries, okay? Boundaries is the total foundation for confidence and, most importantly, self-esteem. So confidence without self-esteem, that is just like wearing a mask. It's not really being confident at the root of you. Real life advice. If you feel like this resonates with you, I'm just so thankful that you are here and watching this and appreciating what I have to say. This book, I got it because Ariana Grande, my queen, actually recommended it in 2020. I read it and it changed so much how to step out in the world and how to allow people to treat me a certain way and not. It's not a quick fix like you read a book and instantly you're changed. You still need to go out in the world and practice and sometimes make mistakes, and sometimes you will fail at making clear boundaries. I also read this book and it definitely changed the way I think of how to, date in the early stages. Sometimes we think that true love happens like that if you're just being yourself. That's not always the case, and this funny book really has a point, because if you are too nice, sometimes people aren't nice to you, and this really, they go together so well. And I'm not saying that you have to run and buy these books in particular. You can find other books, I'm sure, and you can also listen to what I have to say. Just have in mind now, I feel like this is going to be a really long video. I want to bring you along on a little journey, my journey. So get your iced latte, healthy snack, and sit down, relax. So back in history, I started dating after a really long relationship, and I found myself in peculiar situations. And I was confused because I thought it was gonna be really romantic and sweet. And some dates were really extravagant and glamorous and fun and exciting and just a really good experience, but they were also a little bit toxic. Sometimes people that give you a lot expect a lot, okay? And have that in mind. Everything that you receive comes with some sort of expectation, and everybody in this world wants to exchange energy or value. So always think about this. This is advice number one in life. What do you offer and what do you get? Or flip it around. You receive something, royal treatment, glamorous date. What do you give? More than your wonderful presence. Because I wish that was enough to just be a kind soul coming to this date and just making this person's life a little bit better for a little while, and that is just worth his time, money, effort, and everything. I'm sorry, but no, they want something, okay? And this is not to say that all men are like this. These are individuals, but I have seen a theme. Sweet guys are not always sweet guys, and dull guys are most often sweet guys. So this is very, very tricky to understand, but people that love bomb you, tell you that you're beautiful, and they buy you drinks and they buy you dinner and they drive you around in a sports car, they are maybe narcissists, or they are just trying to get something. Where does boundaries come into the picture? Write down what is not okay for you. What do you not like? What do you not appreciate when it comes to words, behavior, physical touch, basically anything. Respecting your time, respecting things you say. If someone is overstepping your boundaries and you have them written down, it's going to be easy for you to be like, okay, this guy doesn't suit me. Same thing with friends. Friends can sometimes overstep your boundaries. This doesn't mean that you're supposed to say, okay, bye, you're overstepping my boundaries. Do say that someone is overstepping your boundaries, but do it in a nice way, because they probably didn't even know. So always give people the benefit of a doubt. That's life advice number 2, guys. Always give people the benefit of a doubt, but not 3 times. Twice? Okay. 3rd time, it was not a mistake from their side. If you were really clear, I go to bed at 10 p.m. Don't text me or call me after that because I really need my rest. That's an example of a boundary. Don't call or text me because I will be tired the next day and I really value my sleep. If someone oversteps this over and over again, okay, you don't have to be rude or mean, but you can say, this relationship doesn't really suit me because these are my routines that makes me healthy and happy, and if you can't accept and respect them, we're not good together. It's easy, but it's not easy if you involve feelings. So please be clear about your boundaries and make sure that this person that you're dating or are friends with really respects your boundaries before you develop feelings. So try, honey, to not have this whole big idea of someone before you actually know them. And here is something else that I've learned throughout life. People are not what they say. People are what they do. So don't be too easily charmed when someone is cute, smiling, saying sweet things, and telling you everything that he will or she will give to you, do for you. This is just talk. Write down a list in your diary. Write the name of the person that you're dating or are friends with, and then write a list of everything nice that they ever did for you. But then also evaluate, and maybe if you feel like it, make a list of things that they do or have done that doesn't sit well with you. Compare and think, what is the reason behind the behavior that you do not accept? And first step is just bringing it up in a very chill conversation. Let the person know, hey, I've noticed that you tend to text me after my bedtime and that disturbs my sleep habits. Or yeah, sometimes you do say critique when I'm not asking for it, or whatever it is that is not resonating with you or not feeling good. Tell them and see how they respond, and see if it's possible to change these things. And sometimes when people aren't mature, they will backlash and say all the things that they're not pleased about with you. This should not come as a surprise, because when people feel attacked, and if they're very ego-driven, they will not really be humble enough to understand that you're saying these things because you want to save the relationship. If you weren't saying these things, it was because you felt like you could just cut the relationship and be done with it, because it's no point bringing anything up. So if you're really talking constructively with a person, it is because you want to help the relationship. But if they're ego driven, they won't see that, and they will maybe just respond that, okay, well, these are the things that I don't like about you. Now you have an option. You can either react or you can take it in. You can say, thank you, I will think about this, and then we can talk again. And then when you sit alone with these things that they brought up, think about if you feel like there's a truth to it, or if they just said things to hurt you in return because they thought that you hurt them first. Think about what is true and what is not, and if it's a little bit true. If you feel like the relationship is worth saving, tell them, I am glad you told me, and I'm going to work on these things to become a better person. And then you just wait for them to say the same thing. If they don't show the same effort, if they don't do the same things for you in return, it's easy. No, it's not easy. I try to make it sound easy to cut relationships, but in reality, we have so many conflicting feelings towards people because we're human. If you let people overstep your boundaries, it will affect your self-esteem. If you constantly let people talk badly to you, treat you in a way that makes you feel bad, eventually, unfortunately, you might believe them and you might feel bad about yourself. And it goes quite fast from when people start telling you bad things and until you actually believe them. Believe me, I've been in a workplace a few years ago where a few of my colleagues started to treat me as if I was less capable than them. And after a short little while, I thought that I wasn't capable of doing things, even though I right before that did amazing things that they even couldn't do. And that's exactly the point. I did such cool things that they couldn't do, that they were threatened, and they decided, maybe subconsciously, they decided to try to bring me down a little bit, just to make me more humble, make me more less of a threat. And yeah, it worked. But then I said bye. And then I came to a new workplace where I walked in confident. I was a new version of myself. I was back in my Leo energy. My confidence was on top, and I convinced them that I was perfect for this job, and they believed me, and they treated me like I was a diamond for a little while, until I noticed that some people working there were acting really sexist. And this was at first something that I could just overlook and not care about. And after a little bit longer, I thought to myself, well, maybe I am a little bit too sexy. Maybe I should make myself less attractive so that they don't comment on my appearance anymore. This is totally the wrong approach. What I should have done is bring up the problem, the issue with the people, and I should have brought it up to my boss, and I should have said exactly how it was, and I should have stayed exactly how I was, because I was gorgeous, confident, and still good at doing my job in a professional way, because my appearance doesn't make me less professional. In reality, I felt very confident. I felt good about myself as long as I was taking care of my appearance and looking the way that I felt my best. But then they took that away from me, or actually I took that away from me. So I was feeling gorgeous and good about myself and confident, and then I let the words and the behavior affect me so badly that I actually made myself less of what I was and wanted to be, and I changed. And do you think that I was treated better after changing? Actually, no. And I think this is a paradox, because I was feeling bad about myself and they were starting to treat me even worse. I toned myself down, I lost my confidence, I lost part of my self-esteem, and I felt really, really bad. And then I quit the job. So I quit the job both times. And what could I have done differently? I could have stuck by my boundaries. I could have said, this is me, and these are my boundaries, and you are overstepping my boundaries. If they weren't capable of hearing, understanding, and respecting these boundaries when I lay them out, then I still could have left the job, which I understand now afterwards, that when you feel strongly that you're in the wrong place, something will force you to move, or you will realize it yourself. So sometimes I feel like the bad things that have happened to me have actually worked out in my favor. And this is so amazing. And I'm so thankful for being blessed over and over and over again with new possibilities, new openings, and new challenges, and hopping around and being in new environments among new people many times. This is really, really good if you want to develop yourself as a person, if you want to grow, if you want to learn. You need to be put in situations that are new. But sometimes the universe also puts us in the same situation over and over again until we learn. And now I finally have realized that something that I do struggle with is saying no, and saying stop, and saying this doesn't suit me, or saying this doesn't serve me, or saying to myself this doesn't serve my greater good or my aspirations in life. This isn't really resonating with me, this isn't working for me. I have been stuck in bad situations with bad people, or people aren't necessarily bad for treating you bad, because sometimes they're just small-minded and they're ego-driven and they haven't come as far as you, sweet angel. I felt so aggressive in this video, but you know, this is a very important topic, and I want you to really listen and really understand how important it is that you protect yourself, and that you do not build up walls, but that you have healthy boundaries that are fully okay to have. It's totally fine. You are still a sweet girl, woman, nice, kind, and a good person, even if you say no, and even if you say this is not good for me. You are not a diva, and you are not too much drama or anything if you are walking away from a situation that is not good for you. You are strong, confident, and have healthy boundaries. So learn this now. Sooner than later is just better, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. As long as you know that you are treating people with kindness, as long as you know that you have a kind heart and that you only want what's best for everyone, including yourself, you are not a bad person for standing up for yourself, whatever that looks like. In the beginning, it might be so hard to stand up for yourself that it comes out in a little bit of a dramatic way. I have stood up for myself at least 3 times in life in really, really important situations. And I have stood up and said, this is ridiculous. I will not have this. And then I have walked away. And those 3 times were really dramatic and almost traumatic for me, and I guess for the other people as well. And it didn't have to get to that point if I were better and more confident earlier to say, this is not really good for me. I do not appreciate the way that I'm being treated right now. If I would have said that calmly before needing to walk out permanently from someone's life, then it would have been less traumatic both for me and the others. But what I'm trying to say here is that forgive yourself for not being perfect at first. You live and you learn, and later on in life you might be able to say, things are toxic here, or things aren't good for me here, and I want a change. And then giving people a chance to change based on just constructive criticism and no drama. If you feel like you need to put a little dose of drama in order to be fully seen, understood, respected, do it. Try it out and see where it gets you. Sometimes it is better to have constructive and calm conversations, and sometimes you just know that there is no way these people will understand or even listen if I don't really make a point. And I think that this can be life-changing for people that have treated you badly. If you really say it to their face, you treated me so badly and that was not okay, then they might have something to think about for the rest of their lives. they might actually be hit by karma later. And I think that the person that wants good in the world will always be the winner. So the bad guy is never the winner, even if it looks like it for a little bit. It might look like you're the victim and the villain is the winner, but honey, you need to get up. Don't wear your victim mentality anymore. Get up and become a winner. Be like Phoenix, you know, and rise from the ashes and show the world that you can thrive and you can burn like fire and light up this world and be a light that is so much needed in society, and be a change and be someone that is standing out from the crowd. And sometimes you are the first person to speak up or the only person to speak up when people are behaving badly, and that is so needed. So I hope this encouraged you to change your life a little bit, create healthy boundaries, and yeah, one step closer to your most authentic life, your most authentic best self, where you're thriving and living the life of your dreams. But understand too that life is not all about achieving goals. It's about community and relationships and love. And I don't want you to take from this video that you have to be like, you know, claws out and everything. An advice that I also want to add to this video is that girls are not your competition. They're your sisters, and you should support each other and help each other through and towards achieving your goals. And just always look at the girls around you and think, I love, admire, and support and believe in you. And if you feel love for other girls, they will feel love for you too. And don't be so insecure that you feel threatened by someone's beauty, someone's knowledge, someone's skills, someone's success, someone's money. Don't be threatened by other girls, because they are in this together with you. They're also fighting against the patriarchy and for just their health and their emotional health, and just they're also just like you trying to live a good life. And don't make it harder for each other, make it easier. And yeah, that was pretty much everything that I wanted to say today. But try to write down your boundaries right now and start living as you plan right now. Bye! I'll see you in my next video, I really hope. And please leave a comment down below if you liked anything I said. And just know that I appreciate you so much. Bye! You're overstepping my boundary. Or at the core of you. Rude, what am I saying? We're not a plant, guys. Boundary boss, baby. If you feel like you want to stand up and make a dramatic scene, you go, Leo. Go do it. Because this world is just too dull sometimes.